What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Now, it's a bit of a late one, but the grind still continues. See, with this segment, we are going to be reacting to AC Unity soundtrack. But um, before we get into that, I just have a short little announcement. So, as you can tell, I've begun my channel, my proper channel. This obviously is my proper channel. I started it back in 2016, and the channel has gone through different changes, alterations, going back and forth. I really found where this channel is going. So as we step into 2025, um, I want to leave the door up to you guys. Before we get into the reaction, I want to ask, do you want to see reactions? Do you want to see specifically game soundtrack reactions? Do you want me to dive into TV and movie soundtracks? If so, are you going to watch those? And are you only here for the game reactions? Because even though the game community is blowing up, I really do want to dive into some of my favorite movie soundtracks. Um, Obviously, I did The Godfather, but that was a little bit of an experiment. But I really wanted to come here and ask you guys, do you are you interested in that type of stuff? I'm doing the Assassin's Creed stuff. I'm not going chronological order, as you could tell by the videos. But I really do want to cover every single Assassin's Creed, including the AC Shadows. When that game releases, I will be covering the soundtrack to that. Do you also want to see live streams as well being put forward onto this channel? And would you be interested in, I know kind of production videos and production content, live streams or videos don't do quite well on two channels, like producing type content. But would you want to sit in and watch me compose? Would you find that useful? Because while I'm breaking down these soundtracks, while I'm breaking down and telling you, oh, they're doing this, they're doing it that, seeing it instead of hearing it could also be very important to aspiring composers like you and I. So I'm going to leave that down for you guys to decide. I'm going to leave that up to you. And just comment down below what you want me to what you want to see out of this channel. A soundtrack specifically, composing specifically, tips and tricks. Um, you know, that is where the path is. Reactions, breakdowns. I enjoy doing that type of stuff. I do. But what type of stuff? Like, movies, games. Would you even want me to break down sound design? Because I know a lot about sound design, and sometimes sound design can go into a soundtrack as well. But that is the intro. Now let's get into the reaction. This has to be by far the best one. Uh, this has to be by far the best. The best intro. It starts off with the normal Assassin's Creed kind of motif. What the game has been recognized for. Then we get into there's a lot of synths, and every time there's a synth in the soundtrack, I've got to say yes, because how they utilize this is absolutely fantastic. It's an arpeggiator, and it's just really like it's there in the mix, but quite back at the same time, and it's panning left to right with the speakers. It's amazing. But even like the synth bass, the boom, boom. But they used like the percussion and the synth to make it a bit like kind of got the like synth poppy, not synth poppy in that way, but kind of more retro, more funkish. With the strings, I would even imagine the strings are probably synthesized or sampled. They might not be like real recordings or in like an actual like orchestral room. I would imagine that this is probably more kind of probably using like something like Spitfire Audio or something. See, just that transition there. And that roll off, the like the little percussion roll off. Oh, just 42 seconds. So there's just a lot of layers going on. So let's break this down for you aspiring composers, just like myself. There is, I think, an arpeggiator. There's percussion. There's a violin. There's a bass. There's the transitions of like kind of the more epicness effects, like the of the roll. So there's about 5 or 6 layers, all playing the same motif, apart from like more of the percussion. Percussion's on its own world, amazing old own world, but there's not much deviance. Like the arpeggiator gets brighter. There's like maybe another layer of a synth in there somewhere. So there's like 6 or 7 layers now. So it's very. It sounds big, guys. Like, it's epic. It sounds big. But you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. And that's what a talented composer like Chris Tilton would do. Very much would do. Let's rewind and let's appreciate this segment. And let's see where this takes us. And side note, I have played the game before. Okay, so that is an interesting way to end off this composition. We start off. I'm gonna break it down for you guys now. We start off with the Assassin's Creed kind of motif that circus a lot of games, right? That's kind of like the Halo-esque theme. We start off with that. Builds up. But if you listen to that little key there, so that little key, you may not think it, but that's important because as we get over to this intro, we get this intro. Now it builds up. So then this runs for about here. Now that key comes in. That key is a transition, but it's also a part of the next kind of segment of this. It doesn't do like what normal kind of soundtracks do in the sense of like it builds and builds, and then there's like an even higher escalation. This soundtrack, it builds and it builds and it gives you like a false sense of build up, because then it just cuts off. And it's slow. It's very quiet almost. It's not a lot of layers. It's just 1, 2, maybe 3 tracks. Key comes in. So that key, that was at the beginning, and that's crucial because as a listener, you might not think, well, that's just a normal instrument, but that's a foreshadowing, I would guess, a foreshadowing for this part. Synth's gone. Percussion gone. No, the percussion does kind of pick back up, but it picks up very slow. So they probably had like, they were either voluming it or they were using like a fade tool or something like that, and they were just fading in, and the fade in was just so long. The percussion does pick back up, but then it starts with the Assassin's Creed kind of theme, and now it ends with it. So there's a bit of doom. So that boom. No, that's a drum, a percussion drum, from a drum set, and amplified a lot of the bass, and to get a lot of reverb and a lot of echo onto that, because that goes boom. So whether this is, you know, a part of a game where something drastic happens, now it's boom. So like it turned a lot of kind of this soundtrack is amazing, guys. It's very epic. It is 100% epic. And I think the reason for this epicness, this grandiose, is a lot of the synthesizers and the percussion were going boom, 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 like the percussion. Percussion does a lot in the soundtrack. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in to today's video. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you comment down below what you would like to see me react to, and I will be sure to react to it. Until my next video, guys, bye-bye, take care, peace out.